Hello, 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 everybody. It is Marital Monday. And guess who's with me again?
Good morning, everybody. How you all doing?
Hold on, let me, there we go. Just giving folks a couple minutes to come on. Good morning. All right, so I have my husband with me again. For all of you that wanted him to come back, i.e. Tasha, Casey, thank y'all.
And the rest of the world.
But we're back, and today we have a really, really good topic for everybody. You want to introduce it, Boo?
You can go ahead.
No? Okay, so we're going to talk about compartmentalizing. I put up a poll earlier last week that talked about or that asked the question, how many of us are able to have a fight with our spouse and then 5 minutes later move on? There were 14 votes. 8 of you said yes, which I would love to talk to y'all. And the other 6 said, not really, got to get better at it. So today we're going to talk about how to compartmentalize, right? How to fight and still kiss goodnight.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things that we have fun with, and I think I do it intentionally, is I try to point out that even though we're talking about this, that, and the other, it's still important to not let one thing affect your whole day, your whole week, your whole month, your whole year, as if that's the end of the world, and it's not.
Yeah, but he does it in ways, you do it in ways where it's almost like he wants to joke and see how quick we can make up, where I'm still in it. So I'm kind of like, just give me a minute, right?
Yep,
yeah.
Yep.
And the definition, because I love definitions, of compartmentalize means to divide into sections or categories. So the question is, how well can you fight in one area or have a heated debate, as you like to say, but have a disagreement in one area and then move on to the next thing? I will say that when we've asked older couples, how they're, or what they did in their marriage to make it last, that was one of the things, like fighting and getting over it. Fighting, move on. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I love to put my scripture in. Hey, Tamara. And it's Romans 12:9. And this is love in action, right? Love must be sincere, hate what is evil, cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love, honor one another above yourselves. So we're talking about compartmentalizing, honoring your marriage, how to do it, and move on. So let's get into it, Boom. Let's get into it. What's the point you want to?
Well, when you're having heated fellowship, okay, we're just going to keep it real. When you're in a fight, when you're fighting, you're fighting the person that you love.
Thank you.
You have a lot of people that are in short-term relationships, long-term relationships, married, and whatever the case may be. But if you have a boo, if you have someone that you love, keyword, if you have someone that you love, there should be some type of rules of fighting. It is. So let's talk about that. Because if you don't have any type of rules of fighting, then that means anything goes. Mm-hmm. And we've heard that don't hit below the belt. You can't even do that in organized boxing, or you will get a point against you, a disqualification eventually. So are there any rules of fighting? Think about your relationship right now. Do you have any rules in your relationship for how we're going to fight? Let's think about it. Number one, what about code words? Okay, my wife and I, we were just recently with a group of friends, and we were having a group discussion about a particular topic that interests all of us. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like it was guys versus girls.
It didn't seem like it. It was.
But we was having fun with it. And the girls, they had code word. What was the code word?
We sure did. It was pineapples. I took it from Kevin Hart. Thank you, Kevin Hart.
So they had this code word, pineapples, and it was like, whoa. Hold on, pineapples. Okay, shh, don't say that.
Yeah, that is what we did when one of us got a little too heated. We bring it back, girl, because we didn't want them to see us sweat. So whenever somebody got a little into it, we just yelled pineapples, and that was our code word.
Okay, in the comment section, do you have a code word that works for you and your significant other? If you do, buzz it in the comment sections. But what about that? Do you think that there's a place for that, where you can have a code word? I'm thinking about the dynamics of when we argue and when we fight. I wonder if we use the code word, will someone give me the cold finger?
Really?
Okay, I don't know.
I've never given you the finger.
Okay, well, maybe not, but maybe that might be something. I'll tell you, we don't have any code words. Maybe we should actually try it, because doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result is insanity.
Yep.
So that might be good. So let's try that. If you're not doing that, try that. And if you are going to put a code word in place, respect the code word.
Right.
Respect it. Don't just, nope, I'm mad right now. Put that rule in place so that way it can help.
What if you have a person though, like when they get mad, they need to walk away for a few minutes, but then you have somebody else that wants to keep talking and figure it out?
Okay, well, we're going to get right into that, because is it important for, just like my wife said, when that time pushes up and you're up here and you're really, really hot, how can you just walk away and give them a few moments to cool off? Because typically in a relationship, someone usually likes doing that, and someone usually likes saying, nope, we're going to talk about this right now. Is that healthy?
I don't think so. Because I'm that person that needs some time, but see, I take it a little far too, because I'll come back and talk about it, and then get mad again and walk away, and then come back and talk about it and then get mad again and walk away. But so there has to be some type of compromise there, where you can walk away one time, and then when you come back, we're gonna sort this thing out.
Absolutely, because one of the things that can't happen is, okay, well, I'm gonna walk away right now just because I don't want to answer the question that you asked me, or I don't want to talk about that, and then 10 minutes later, when that other person is doing something different, then it's bringing it back up and bringing it back up. So that could actually work out. And I'm sure a lot of people would say, nope, when things get too heated, we give it a little time. Sometimes we even come back and talk about it tomorrow. It's not a bad idea to actually let some time go. And this is not us sweeping it under the rug. This is just letting some time go. So that way you can still cool down. You can carry on with being loving. You can carry on with cooking dinner, going out, taking care of the children, watching the movie, still doing something else. Because
Charles,
at the end of the day, you're still married. And like we said 2 weeks ago, it's still team we. Okay, it's still team we, because a lot of times we press hot buttons.
Wait a minute though. You brought up a point though. You said it just gives you time so you can something about loving and still love on each other. Can we talk about that? Because you're the type that we can argue, and you still want me to kiss and say, just like that thing said, kiss good, like you fight and then kiss goodnight.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to kiss. I'm not trying to do any of that. But you are really good for, okay, but we should still be able to say love you and don't take it to bed with you. Give some tips.
Well, that's because in our scripture text, Romans 12:9, in the Amplified version, it actually says love is to be sincere and active, meaning you always got to be putting some action.
Yeah.
Love is an action word. So even if we had some heated fellowship, I'm so silly that I try to kiss while we're arguing. I'll say some stuff like, but you know I love you. You know that we're going to do this. You know we're going on vacation. You know we're going to do this, just to let her know that it's still
so disrespectful.
It's still team we.
He's so disrespectful when we fight.
And believe it or not, if you give it some time and it'll give you some perspective to really find out if what you're saying is necessary. Sometimes just talking a lot is not necessary. So I need to work on that. So it will give you some time to find out what's important and what's not.
Laugh about that.
Are you just trying to
you talk a lot?
Are you just trying to get your own way, or are you going to try to say what's important? Because at the end of the day, we need to figure out how can we dig ourselves out of this mess.
But also you need to be careful what you say. You can't say some dirty stuff and then expect that person to want to love on you. Even during that cool down period, your words have power in what you say. And if you hurt the person, so there needs to be code words, and there needs to be like guidelines, like be careful what you say.
Which is good. We have two other points, which, hot buttons. Is there anything that just frustrates you and ticks you off to the most? Okay, that person that you're in a relationship with, whether it's short-term, long-term, married with kids, married and planning, whatever the case may be, I think we should learn and talk about what our other significant others' hot buttons are. It's not too much that you can say that will get me extremely ticked off, but it's when you do the head motions and you get the moving all the way around. I'm like, where are you going? You're standing right here. Why your head going this way? That frustrates the mess out of me. And then the second thing is just to walk away with an attitude. Those two things.
My hot button is he talks a lot.
Yeah, so we got to figure out what each other's
Right.
hot buttons are and try
Right.
not to press those. But
Right.
see, that's maturing.
Yeah.
You might not do that in year one. If you do, congratulations. But work towards doing that, because if you keep on pressing people hot buttons, sometimes you can hurt the other person's feelings. Sometimes you can get offended. Like my wife was saying, sometimes some things are said, and I'll do that. I'll say some things that should not have been said, and I'm trying to practice more apologizing right there on the spot. You know what? My bad. I shouldn't have said that. But sometimes the other person don't want to hear it at that particular point.
Mm-hmm.
But let's practice some of these things. Let's practice some of these things. So again, we're going to practice making some code words.
Yep.
You can't use the code word pineapples because that belongs to our group. Okay, so pick a different code word. Okay, let's also practice finding out what each other's hot buttons are. Okay, so that way we can identify them. And you don't want to press a person's hot button, especially if you love that person, because love is an action word.
Mm-hmm.
And then if by chance you need a cool down period, that's not a problem. For me, that's not a problem. Let's make sure we incorporate that, so that way it gives the other person time to cool off, so that way you can decide what is really important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you think about a year later when you say, well, what was you arguing about? What did you get in a big fight about? And some of the people say, I don't remember. I don't even know. It can be like that even with a small heated fellowship as well.
And then what about practicing? How can someone practice compartmentalizing? So you have the fight, but you don't want to take that to bed with you. You don't want to go to bed angry. What is something that a couple can do? One thing that we can do.
I'll even tell you in a few words, be committed to doing it. Okay, say that again. Be committed to doing it. If you say that you're going to make up code words and hot topics and you're going to do this, just be committed to doing it. The first time you get the opportunity to do it, do it. Okay, you're going to feel something inside of you that's going to be like, no, I want to keep on being the same way I've been. Well, that's not getting you where you want to be. Be committed to doing it. Take some of these heated fellowships. It ticks my wife off, but I tell her I love when we have heated fellowship because it gives her a chance to practice some of these techniques.
It's not called heated fellowship, y'all. It's called arguing.
Fighting, getting it on.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one way to fight. That's all we have for you all today.
Thank you for watching. Listen, we have some exciting news coming up for the Marital Mondays. Also, check me out. All social media links, Mercedes E. Wilson. Check it out. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see y'all next Monday.
Peace.
Say bye.